Hi, welcome to Angel Talk. I'm here today with Deb,
suit stylist,
and sponsored athlete director,
brand ambassador,
for Angel Competition Bikinis.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about our most asked question.
Yes, we wanted to talk about how do you become a sponsored athlete? Because I know for me, that was always a dream to be a sponsored athlete. So there are 3 ways to become a sponsored athlete. The first way, probably the most obvious, is to be asked. You are invited to become a sponsored athlete.
Yes. So this is kind of a rare way that we find them because typically our sponsored athletes are previous customers that love the brand. But there are a select few, like Janet, for example.
Isa.
That
Lorelei,
that we invite to be a sponsored athlete. So these are people that haven't won our suits. And the way that works is we reach out to them and say, hey, are you sponsored by a suit company? If not, we would love to chat and we would be honored, to make your next suits. And then we send them a suit in the mail, several suits, to make sure they can honestly represent the company and they truly love these suits more than any other company, because that's the best form of marketing, is that honest love of our product.
And I think, excuse me, I think it's important to point out too that, we're always looking for classy, confident athletes that represent our culture. And so, when we invite someone to be a sponsored athlete, we're looking for those aspects too. So we don't necessarily invite just every high profile, highly competitive athlete.
Yeah, they definitely have to fit into the culture and the community of what it means to be an Angel Competition Bikini sponsored athlete.
Yeah. And so the second way to become a sponsored athlete is to be promoted from our Angel Ambassador program.
Yeah, and this is probably the most common way that we find our sponsored athletes, because what you're following has nothing to do with how you can help Angel Competition Bikinis. And people kind of get that confused because when you see some of these big accounts, let's say they have 5 million followers. Well, how many of those followers are women? Mm-hmm. How many of those followers are bodybuilders?
Right.
And, when you narrow it down to that, the follower count, since our market is so niche, you can't go off follower count.
Right.
So it is not how many followers you have.
Right. And so one of the things we'll be looking for to be promoted is how much you love our company. How do you compete? Do you wear our suits already? So, and then also we're looking for, can you help us promote the brand? So are you a posing coach? Do you have a team? Do you just have an engaged following of other bodybuilders that purchase suits? So an example is Leanne Kelly.
Yeah, Leanne. So she has under 1,000 followers, I think. It's pretty low. And she started as an ambassador, and her code was used like 25 times. And so we saw that, and we're like, obviously she is influencing people to buy these suits, and she truly loves our company. Mm-hmm. So we promoted Leanne in March to a full sponsored athlete.
And the process is Angel Ambassador. So Angel Ambassadors get a 20% discount on their orders. And they also get a code to share.
Yes.
And the code gives their followers 10% off.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's how we can tell if they're promoting us and how well received that code is by how many people use that code.
Yeah. So I know people joke, about like influencer, like use my code to save and things like that. But it's how we can gauge the impact of a sponsored athlete. And so one thing that I want to clear up confusion on, some people think our sponsored athlete is a scholarship, and we have done scholarship searches before to where we're truly just looking for someone to help someone out, someone that needs help. And we will post about that when we do that. We only do that about once a year. And a sponsorship is very different. We work together as a team. Mm-hmm. You help us, we help you. And that's another thing different about our sponsorship is we have a lot of opportunities to help our sponsored athletes with exposure and doing things like the Angel Fashion Show, getting them in front of new clients. Mm-hmm. And we have a big platform here that we really work with them to help them grow their following and their business and for them to succeed in life. We are supporting them to go on stage. And can we talk about what do you get when you're a sponsored athlete?
Well, as a sponsored athlete, like we said, you get your suits, You get your competition suits, anything that we have, jewelry, some of our apparel, things like that. You get all of that for free, and you don't have to give them back, which I think is unique to some of the other sponsor programs out there. You can have a new suit for every competition if you want. Some people, like Ashley last year, just wore the same suit all year long. I mean, she could have had a suit for every show. How many did she do last year? That would be a lot of suits.
I think she did 17.
Yeah, 17 new suits. So that's an option. You also get the opportunity to earn a commission.
Yes.
So when your code is used as a sponsored athlete, you get a 5% commission.
Yeah.
So that's nice. It can be a nice revenue stream for athletes. Like Erin Meekins Cooper, her code is used a lot.
Yeah.
And
that's a great example of someone that doesn't have a super large following. Really, the follower count, I can't stress that enough, that it doesn't matter. What matters is your influences in the community and being that role model that someone looks up to in the fitness community. And that's, one of the things that we like to look for, because all of our sponsored athletes, they motivate us every day to keep doing what we're doing. These women that we sponsor are, like, I get chills talking about how inspired I am by them. And so it's important to us that we, only pick people that are true role models in the fitness community.
Yeah. And I like to emphasize again, classy, confident, kind. I mean, whenever we get together, like for the fashion show, that's probably one of the opportunities. All of our sponsored athletes, our angel ambassadors, they're all invited to be a part of that, as well as anybody else who applies. But when we all get together, we always go away from that weekend just amazed at how wonderful our community of clients is.
Yeah.
And they're just nice people. And to get a group of women together and spend a weekend in a kind of a high potentially stressed situation, getting ready for a fashion show and all that stuff, it's a really nice group of people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's such a loving environment. And I remember we did a sponsored athlete retreat in May down in Florida, and we had 15 sponsored athletes get together for a photo shoot with Jim Mannion and Debbie, which was amazing. If you ever have the opportunity to shoot with JM, go for it. Anyways, back to the story. Lana mentioned at the end of the trip, she was like, this was so much fun. There was absolutely no drama. Everyone is my new best friend. And she was like, you guys did a great job picking the girls for this trip. And we're like, well, that's how all of our sponsored athletes are. Like, if we would pair any of them up together, there's not going to be any drama or any, negative talk. We're really a community of positive, uplifting, classy, and confident women.
Yeah. Another thing, benefits of being a sponsored athlete is you get to take part in photo shoots. We have the sponsored athlete retreat. You're always welcome to come to our HQ in Kansas City, and we will set you up with a photo shoot like we did Janet a few weeks ago. It's not just because she was Janet, or is Janet, she still is, but because that's what we do for our sponsored athletes.
Yeah.
So that's another perk. Gosh, what else?
We will spoil you with anything you ever want.
Of course.
So, you can come in for, the photo shoot as well, but we can also do some in-person sizing and let you, tour our whole facility and look at everything behind the scenes, see where the magic is made. We love giving tours of behind the scenes here, because not very many companies in the U.S., actually only 1% of companies in the U.S. actually manufacture their products here. And so we are one of those 1%. So it's really cool to see the start to finish of the suit. So that's another opportunity for sponsored athletes. And we also open that up for ambassadors. So how do you apply?
Yes. So we talked about being invited to be a sponsored athlete. We talked about being promoted. And then the third way is to be a part of our sponsored athlete search.
Yes. So to win the sponsored athlete search. So Lauren Dannenmiller back in 2016 saw that we were doing a sponsored athlete search. She applied and we picked her. And she has been,
that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Know that.
Yeah, that's how Lauren Dannenmiller became a sponsored athlete. And I believe Natalie Matthews, there's a lot of our sponsored athletes that became a sponsored athlete by doing this sponsor search. So we do them about twice a year. And we're going to post about it on our Instagram. So if you are listening to this way past the date that we're going live today in July of 2022, don't worry, because we do them multiple times a year. So you can always go and apply and comment on this YouTube video. When is the next sponsor search? It'll typically be, in July or August, and then early of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, and so if you haven't learned by now, we are getting ready to announce
Yes.
the sponsored athletes.
So you are the first to hear this. Yeah. And so what that means is we're going to post something on Instagram, and then they can click the link in our bio, and there will be a form to fill out for the application.
Exactly. So things we're looking for when we look through those applications, again, just all the things that we talked about. We're going to look at your Instagram profile. It does have to be public. Your social media needs to be public. We need to be able to see you. We need to see that you're a competitor. We need to see, again, that you're classy, confident, that you would represent the brand well. Of course, we'll be looking, we do look at follower count. So we're interested to see what your following looks like. Are they a part of the bodybuilding community?
Yeah.
Are you involved with a team? Are you a coach of a team? Are you a posing coach? Those aren't requirements, but these are just all things that we're looking at.
Yeah, and it's more of choosing people that are great ambassadors of the sport. They're heavily involved in the community. Their job is in fitness, and they have a lot of reach in the fitness community. Is probably, one of the most important things.
Yeah. If we were to look at your profile, for instance, and it's not public, that would be kind of red flag number one. Another thing is, if we look at your profile and there are absolutely no pictures of you, it's all like scenic pictures or dog pictures or whatever. We love dogs. We love them.
Yes.
But that would be another state. It's like, are they going to be able to represent the brand? Are they going to showcase our products and represent who Angel Competition Bikinis is?
Yeah, so we hope this answered some of your questions about how to become a sponsored athlete. So again, the ways are 1, by invitation, 2, being promoted to ambassador. So if you're listening to this, click the link in our Instagram bio and click apply to be an ambassador. And you must have ordered from us prior to become an ambassador.
Yeah.
And that's
Sponsored athletes.
Yeah.
Good
Sponsored
luck.
athlete search.
Good luck. We can't wait to see you guys apply.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening to this short little podcast and YouTube video. And we look forward to talking to you later.